All right, so something close to this came across my Twitter timeline this morning. Kellen Pastor at the Odd Engineer on Twitter said they top 8'd the standard challenge on Magic Online. With this over the weekend. It seems kind of neat. It's like mono blue tempo-y. I made a couple of changes from the list that they had. I added a different mix of counter spells. I trimmed a couple of lands so their land count was super duper high, especially with things like Frost Augur to dig to lands a little bit more consistently. So we've got kind of that counterspell mix that the blue-red deck has, but instead of playing a bunch of dragons and stuff at the top end, we've got Cosima, God of the Voyage, and I actually think Omen Keel is, this is actually part of the reason why I loaded this deck up and I wanted to play it. I think Omen Keel is underappreciated right now. Like, a 3/3 crew 1 vehicle that when it hits your opponent, you get to draw lands off of their deck. This seems really powerful. And this deck gets to play 2 cheap things to crew it, which seems nice. Obviously, the easy question is like, do your Brazen Borrowers and counter spells do enough here to keep the board in check against whatever your opponent's doing? Or like, is our opponent going to play to the board and run us down? Ravenform seems like a card that's potentially very reasonable. This archetype 2 here, so you get to exile an artifact or creature, and they get a 1/1 bird token. So, like, this is like a mono blue answer to like threats that are difficult to interact with, and it's a mono blue answer to artifacts as well, which seems really powerful because, you know, what is the color pie? But yeah, got a couple Icebreaker Kraken here at the top end too, which is a big bomby style threat that can beat people down on occasion. So let's dive on into some games with this. I would suspect that this deck, again, kind of talking about that squeeze that we currently have in Standard, I would assume that this mono blue deck has a very good Yorion matchup, but it's likely going to struggle against the creature-based decks in the format. White aggro, Gruul, Adventure, those are probably going to be challenging for this. What about the Rogue matchup? I don't know how I would expect the Rogue matchup to play out offhand. I feel like that's one I would have to experience before positing about. I could see that going either way. Land, please. Nailed it. Is Mardu Knights on my mind? It is. I'm trying to find a deck that doesn't play Embercleave for Saturday first, but if none of the decks I've played feel good between now and Saturday, Saturday will definitely be an Embercleave deck. Alright, so while this card is exiled, whenever we play a land it gets it, we can put a counter on it. If we don't put a counter on it, it comes into play and draws us cards. Just flashing this in. To be fair, it's very surprising that Embercleave's not banned. The fact that you can Omen Keel on 2 and then curve into Cosima on 3 to crew it is also really slick. I like it a lot. Should we have crude on upkeep to attack? Oh, crude with what on upkeep? Oh no, I don't think I wanted to trade my Omen Keel for Bone Crusher. It is almost like having a champion spell. I agree. These legendaries with backsides feel like they borrowed inspiration from Runeterra for sure. Definitely Runeterra energy. In a very good way. All right, I'm gonna trade for the Bone Crusher Giant now. Yes, the red land is from Omen Keel. In the strict comparison sense, it is better than a champion spell. You are correct, Drunk Owl. Similar design principle. It's a design principle of your legends don't get stuck in your hand. Yeah, the fact that the aggro decks play Embercleave and Henge, like, and the 4-mana draw 4 means main deck Stroke is, like, super reasonable in this format. Alright, so if I decline this, she comes into play and I draw 2 cards? Okay. Okay, I'm down with the Cosima. This could be a card we play in some other decks. I feel like this is a card, I don't know if this current deck we're playing is good, but Cosmenia seems great. The Cosmenian Devil chip. What's with the red mana? Well, you can look at our deck list and see that we're not playing red lands. You can always type ! deck in chat to see the current deck list. All right, chat. This is an important question. Is this the Bubble Snare matchup? What do you think? Is this the matchup where we bring in standard staple Bubble Snare? I think I want my Ravenforms here. Seems like it could be okay. Extra Graven Lore sounds good. Chadwick here is probably a little bit slow and clunky, huh? Bubble Snare over Bind the Monsters. You can't ask a question like that assuming that I know what the card Bind the Monsters does, because you'd be very wrong in that assumption. I don't think this is a more stroke matchup, but I think the first 2 strokes are fine. Maybe I don't want the extra Ravenforms. Maybe just 2 of those is reasonable. I don't actually know what we're doing. We're science dogging the crap out of this. I guess Negate only fights over their counter spells. Taking a hit sounds really bad, Steven. This card sounds much better than that. And I don't want a creature to hit me twice. Big energy on that. That's much worse what we're currently playing. It only works that way if you have different arts for the strokes. That way you can have different strokes for different folks. Oh, that's a good one. Wow, way to tread on me. Do you have children? Because if not, that's illegal. Yeah, it's probably accurate. Accurate statement. Oh, I can't play this turn. Right, you can't play it the turn you foretell it. Got us. Got me. Should have seen it coming, chat. So... I think I'm pretty happy getting a dispute here. Like with all the counter spells we have coming up, getting that disputed on a turn like that seems super reasonable for us. I'm gonna try and choke them off their mana. I just have another dispute. That makes sense, right? They played the first one so aggressively. Mike Robo, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel this afternoon. We could really use a piece of card advantage. Oh, I should have thrown this. I should have thrown this under the thing. Was Disdainful Stroke better to use there? Yeah, probably. Hold on to this in case you draw a Cosima. I don't think I'm gonna hold 2 lands, but holding the first one seems fine. Hey, Christopher. Thanks for the follow. Good afternoon. Are we playing mono blue counter spells? I'm playing mono blue, and there are counter spells in my deck. Look at that, chat. We get to be tricky. They're not all the same card foretold. This is a nice one. We could get punished by this line. I think it's right to take the 2-for-1 there, though. If they jam a dragon, I have a riddle form for it. So, the fact that our opponents had 2 draw 2s this game and we haven't had any is a big deal, though. We're definitely pretty far behind in terms of cards in general at the moment. And like the opponent's archetype, I think, is the big question in terms of like, you got to ask yourself, like, is our deck a better or worse version than what they're doing? I think is definitely the most direct comparison. There's a good chance that just like having that little bit of interaction that they have in terms of interaction that plays to the board is really valuable. Okay, so their dragon is gone, but I'm also like out of resources here aside from these 2 strokes. I definitely should have used a stroke earlier as opposed to a saw coming on one of their, Yep, you could also, this card's funny, because you can tell when people started playing Magic with this card, because they'll either say it's Warden of the First Tree, or they'll say it's Figure of Destiny. People kind of tattle on themselves how long they've been playing Magic when they talk about that card. Yeah, okay, so we really need to draw 3. We have three draw 3s in our deck. This is their 3rd Behold the Multiverse. Kraken would also be a fine draw. I would take an 8/8. Ice Figure 8 Skater of Destiny. Yep. Where's that? Them's the lands. The fact that our opponent, the fact that we both drew a number of lands and our opponent drew 2 creature lands in their mix, so now also pretty good for them there. I think I'm happy with how we boarded. Let's run it back. Try and draw a little bit better here. Again, the fact that they saw a card advantage in creature lands and we saw neither definitely did not help. Our opponent playing fluently, or is the client snappier than I remember? Nah, the opponent's just playing quickly. Client's the same as it's always been. I guess I should put a Magic playlist page back up on my website. Took that down when I took my break. I'm probably supposed to just do this right away since we're on the play, right? Just get it out of range of Bone Crusher Giant. They could have Scorching Dragonfire. Yeah, and their first land wasn't a snow land. Who's got 2 thumbs and gets tempoed to hell and back by Brazen Borrower? This guy right here. Did they really wait to my turn to Brazen Borrower it? That's so greedy. They were hoping to tempo. They were hoping I was just gonna like go all in and activate it while they had blue mana up. And Bang, thank you for the tier 2 and thank you for the 25 months. Welcome back. Oh. Yeah, that's totally fine, right? So I just let this happen then, right? And I think there's a good chance they still have Borrower, so I think I just foretell here. Yeah, I think there's a chance they have Borrower and they came to the realization of why letting us on. I agree, Journey. I think they played it out in their head and they realized they made a mistake. definitely happy to just play cat and mouse here while we beat them for 4. Don't we draw a card? No, I don't pay 4 mana to activate this to get Brazen Borrower. That sounds really bad. Oh, you thought I already activated it? No, yeah, you have to get to the fourth stage to borrow. Hey, Dragon, thank you for the 15 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Afternoon. They're also playing Graven Lore. Interesting. This card's probably absurd in mono blue and historic. You just get to play a bunch of basic lands in that deck and not feel bad about it. Got me. You can, worst neighbor. That is in fact exactly how that works. Hey, Qualt. You coming back to Magic is going to make me update the Arena client for the first time in months. Has anybody been using Cosmos Charger, the flashy Foretell Horse? I drafted a couple of different things with Charger, and the payoffs just don't feel like they're there for it. Unfortunately. Feels like it's slipping away from us. TNT, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. We just let that happen and pass. I think I want 2 counter spells next turn for a dragon, potentially. That's another game that could definitely come down to the fact that, like, they have Behold and Graven and we have, like, God of the Voyage doesn't feel great. We played the opponent's deck. We have. Very reasonable. Card's just so slow in the late game. It's really sweet on turn 2, but it's like glacial at this point. That's a cute thought. Fabled Passage makes this better when it's exiled. I don't know, I kind of feel like we just don't have enough creatures to consistently leverage the Omen Keel part of this. Like, I like Omen Keel as a card, but I feel like this deck just doesn't have enough ways to crew it consistently. Alright, so these both need to be counter spells. Narrator, they were both counter spells. Okay, they need to play defense here though, right? Because I have Faceless. So I can decline this. That's a Graven Lore. So I could Faceless Haven, force 2 trades on these two, and then hit them to 1. I think that's gotta be the play, right? Because they can't block this here and block this here because this can't block non-flyers. Yeah, we have the Assault coming here still. The problem is that they have these Havens. Oh, they don't have enough mana. No, they can attack and still block. Because it says Vigilance. They have exactly enough snow to activate twice, yes. Okay, that worked. I guess if I do this, I could draw the island and then go Augur Ascendant here. Well, I should have let on Augur. This is like an Essence Scatter. My sequencing is bad. No point to attack my 2/4 into their 4/3. Giant Sweeper. Sometimes the opponent's archetype plays Storm's Wrath, but usually they don't. Usually, I don't think I'd expect them to bring that card in against us. So they don't have enough mana to activate both of these, and we've got double counter spells. They should be dead here. This is not a Stow land. They can only activate one of these. They technically activate them both, but they won't both be untapped. Adi, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully we get a chance to draw and play the Kraken at some point in the set. I mean, to be fair, the opponent's deck isn't one. Again, the decks that don't play to the board quickly, I expect to be okay matchups for what this deck is doing. It's going to be... It's going to be the adventures decks and like the white aggro decks that likely give us trouble. Yeah, I would not recommend investing resources into building this deck until you see us play against something that's aggressive. Haha, joke's on you, aggro deck. I got a 1/2 for 1. Get wrecked. Wow, that's rude. Poor little augur. Constant hack. Thanks for the follow. Survey says, I would love a free land. Yeah, I think we're in for 3 mana, 3/3 here. We'll attack with the augur as well. I agree if Gadwick eats like a small amount of damage, like a stomp plus a block, that's a win for us. Amazonian, thank you for the raid. Hope you had a wonderful stream today. Rim job night. That's rude. That's a little unfortunate. I was hoping if they were going to trade up into him, it was going to cost them a little bit more resources than that. I think we're just passing at this point. We'll trade here and activate this. We can actually stroke a cleave for the turn, which is nice. This is definitely a style of matchup where oh, they're making an extra 1/1. Got it. I was very confused. This gives them an extra 1/1 with Annex. I was like, release the Kraken, he says before dying with Kraken in hand. This is about how I expected Kraken to play out. Alright, we're very dead. Thanks for the 21 months, Ewok. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Bubble Snare. Threnody Singer. Maybe some Ravenforms. Maybe. This is definitely not a stroke matchup. What are we cutting? Gadwick slow. Saw it coming is slow. Gadwick's actually probably better than Brazen Borrower a lot of the time. You don't want 4 reason for him. And Jeff answers, he's taking deckless submissions. I'm taking magic deck submissions for $50. So you've raised the price of them a significant amount so we get less of them. It also means if you submit a deck, it'll get played the next day. So the turnaround time will be instantaneous, but it is intentional to bring it down. Jumped up in viewers as my desk is fighting me to go up. Stupid desk. Sounds good. It's like Groki signed off for the day. Thanks everybody that's dropping in for me for there. back on the cardboard crack with Magic the Gathering as of this expansion release. Gonna be doing some daily constructed moving forward as part of my content here. How much to play a Legacy Europile? $100. I'll open Moto for $100. I'm a simple man. Katsuyu and Black Ayobi, thanks for the follows. What happened to prompted the change to deck submissions because Magic is left forgiving for brews? Yeah, that's exactly it, Coach Berg. A big part of what wore my feelings thin on Magic at the end of last season was related to the fact that getting beat up with random viewer decks just isn't fun or good content. I still have a way to borrow decks on Moto. I do. Yeah, yes they are, Son-of-Sam. All the same. Do I take GME stock? I do not. So this can give itself +1/+1. They have two of them here? Or are they gonna kill both my things here? Wow, that's super awkward. They get to bump this as well. Well, our Frost Augur got to be awkward divination. Have a bird. Probably just bouncing this and playing Borrower. Is there a reason to not foretell the Ravenform and play it on their turn to not take one from the bird? Yeah, this is sorcery. Okay. So we can Singer the Giant, making it a 1/3, and then Faceless Haven can eat this, and this can trade here, and like maybe we're not just dead. Maybe. Well, they're short of mana to cleave here now, right? Well, we are definitely just dead to cleave at any given point, so just don't worry about it. Just don't even think about it. You're gonna die to the cleave. I agree, it did do me well, Chase. So it feels good to be back. Like riding a bike. I assume the person that played this and did well played against a bunch of Yorion decks. Would be my estimation. I would assume that this deck probably doesn't have a very winnable matchup against decks that have mountains and are aggressive. Both mono red and Gruul. All right, we've got Augur into Omenkeel. I think Eldraine was a mistake. I think card game players are pedantic. I think there's a lot of really sweet designs in Eldraine. I think even if the adventure cards missed on power level, I think adventure as a whole is a really sweet mechanic, and it's one that I hope they revisit, even if they need to scale down the power level a little bit. I think adventure is probably my favorite flashback variation that we've seen. People way too often like to just write off entire subsets of things just because a couple of them missed. Are you daring to accuse members of chat of hyperbole? How dare you? Yep, apologize. I think I might have figured out the reason people aren't playing Omenkeel, chat. It might be related to 3-mana 5/5s. There might be a chance that 3-mana 5/5s are the reason people aren't playing Omenkeel. Excuse me? We kept the Raven and chump blocked with the... Oh, okay, they want to kill my boat. Got it. They wanted a creature in their main. Opponent is just a huge fan of our bird. Which is fair. Our bird is lovely. How cute it is. It's Ban. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Great. Cosmina is going on a bear hunt. I definitely feel like I'm gonna misclick the take action or not take action at some point with that card. There's just so many words on it. I should review the unban request queue. That sounds like I'll slam my hand at that card door at some point in the future. Brian Magical, thanks for the follow. Welcome back. All right, mods. Anybody who is in any mod that wants to actually do some mod stuff. Anybody in the queue who their user history doesn't have anything bigoted in it, their message history, and they say they're going to subscribe, you may unban them. I don't want their money if they were a bigot, but if they're gonna give me their money, they can come back if they weren't a bigot. And if you're not sure how to check someone's message history, don't unban anybody. If you're a mod and you're not sure what I'm referring to, just don't worry about it. I mean, if they're not gonna sub, unbanning them doesn't really do anything because they can't chat. They can't chat regardless. Oh, I meant to put that into play and draw a card. Damn it! I did the thing I said we were gonna do by mistake. They can see chat. They can see chat on the screen. They can see chat on the overlay. Maybe I'm supposed to pump this on my turn before they get to stomp. Rude. All right, if we find a land, Cosima is gonna come into play here and draw us a bunch of cards. So here's hoping. Dang it, Bobby. Land. Well, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. Opponent's draw is really slow and awkward. It's gonna be fine. I believe in us. Yeah, that's also true. If you don't know how to work mod view, just ignore it. Pretend it doesn't exist. Alright, so Chadwick here, we're gonna draw like infinite cards next turn, right? Because Chadwick's gonna draw us a card, and then Cosima is gonna come into play and draw us some cards. Maybe we're conservative and leave 2 mana up. Yeah, I'm just gonna draw a pair here, actually. And hold up the saw coming. I guess I could draw 1 more card to give ourselves a better chance to hit the land. Okay, so if I hit decline, she will come into play and draw cards. We did it! We magicked! We successfully passed the reading comprehension test. I'm pretty sure we just let this happen. They're gonna get Cosima with it, but I think at this point, with 2 more Ascendant Spirits in hand, I'd rather save this for their card advantage. I want to counter like their draw 4s or their henge. Or their dragons. I think I'm into countering dragons. To be fair, Cosminia's reading comprehension test does involve reading 2 essays. It really does. This is a stroke matchup. This feels like one of those matchups where I want the 2 strokes that are in my main deck, but I don't want subsequent strokes out of the sideboard. Red Mage Frank, thank you for the 37 months, and thank you for the very generous tier 3. That's very generous and a very long time. You've seen some stuff. Okay, listen. Don't make me go get some Yu-Gi-Oh cards to show you how wrong you are about... Yu-Gi-Oh puts a text box twice this big in a space half this size, okay? Returning Dawn, thanks for returning to Oglandia. I appreciate the 14 months. Welcome back. Is Stroke a strict upgrade over Negate here? It's an interesting thought. Negate tags their adventure spells, so I don't think so. I don't think it's strict. It might just be better still. I don't think it's strict. Chadwick seems a little slow. Let's board him out. Yeah, the opponent's archetype doesn't have a high density of stroke targets, but the stroke targets it does have are very valuable. Good way to think about it. Sure. Man, you know what's really bad, chat? Not being able to kill Edgewall Innkeeper on one. Alright, it's not a play we're excited to make, but it's the one we're making. Ravenform only costs 1. Well, I mean, you're not wrong in the strict sense. Denying them from being unbanned banned them from asking from unbans. Yo, dog! You kept asking to be unbanned, so I banned you from asking to unban. I think we've died, chat. I believe we have died. In the immortal words of the tempo deck, let's take game 3 on the play. Am I dumb? Is there a Magic Deck Q command? No, there's not a Magic Deck Q. Nobody has submitted Magic decks to be played. This is just like every other Magic stream out there. An inaccurate stream title and no flying by the seat of our pants. So if you're looking for the previously well-organized stream that we were beforehand, that's dead and gone, and I don't really intend to bring it back. Do I want to start getting value out of this? I think I want to just get this online. I think Avalanche Caller is a really bad Magic the Gathering card. I think after we're done with this game, I'm going to stop playing this deck because it feels like a bad version of the blue-red deck. I'd much rather just be playing the blue-red deck. Not having the ability to kill things like Edgewall Innkeeper efficiently is a really big deal. I'm not going to pump this up to 4 just yet, because I want to be able to protect it from chop down when I pump it up to 4. We did see my saw it coming. My opponent's draws have been really bad in the games that we won. I'm pretty sure they're going to be dead before this Kraken is relevant. Feels like that's likely to be the case. It is at least castable at this point, though. The fact that this doesn't tap anything itself and it's just an 8/8. This doesn't even stop their lands from untapping, right? It's just artifacts and creatures. Yeah, it really doesn't seem very good. Weird how that works, Zubail. Is there a free part of the Mastery Pass? Current level? Oh, it automatically gives us the free stuff. Got it. Yeah, I don't really have a desire to spend money on these things. I think yeah, like Spirit's neat. I really wasn't into the rest of what this deck was doing though. The just not being able to kill Innkeeper feels so bad. I think if you want to do something similar to that with the counter spells, you're much better off playing blue-red flash like this. And I think if you want to play Spirit, I liked this blue-green snow deck that we played the other day a lot better. Having access to Blizzard Brawl in green, letting you kill things that they play to the board is nice. Explosive Botanist and Slanza, thanks for the follows. Welcome to the channel.